With all the injustices happening in the world, the Associated Press decided to take up the big story of dental floss and whether or not there's enough scientific evidence backing the impact and the benefits of it on your gums and teeth.
Oh, God, thanks God.
I love this story because it actually, it fires me up.
You're the only one in America.
Yeah, so let me give you the details. The Associated Press, I don't know, there's apparently a writer or a reporter there who was like, I really fucking hate flossing my teeth, so let me see if I can tear down the flossing industry. And here's what happened. The AP looked at the most rigorous research conducted over the past decade, focusing on 25 studies that generally compared the use of a toothbrush with the combination of toothbrushes and floss. The findings? The evidence for flossing is weak, very unreliable, or very low quality, and carries a moderate to large potential for bias. I got it, dude. You don't like to floss. Then don't floss. Don't floss. Don't encourage other people to avoid flossing. That is a terrible idea. Flossing is important. I don't give a shit about the studies. You know what happens when you eat food? No. You know what happens when you eat food? It gets in between your teeth and it stays there. It's lodged there. And you know what happens to that food? It just rots and it gets stinky and nasty. And people who don't floss have bad breath. Floss your teeth. Floss your teeth. It's so important.
Okay. Now, the research shows the opposite.
So look, they're specifically looking at gingivitis and all of that, right? And so look, I haven't examined the data, so I don't know if what they're claiming is true. I don't know if it does prevent gingivitis, doesn't prevent gingivitis. I'm not even concerned about gingivitis right now. I'm concerned about.
I'm not concerned about it.
I'm concerned about personal hygiene and how you shouldn't have food lodged in between your teeth for the rest of your life.
Okay, Jacori, get TYT Supreme Court ready if you can, because apparently we're going to have a giant debate about flossing. So now I rather enjoyed this AP research because there are people who are all vigilant about flossing.
Yes,
they're getting people's grill. Apparently, Anna's one of them. Steve-O, another one from the show, who's like, "You've got to floss."
Yes.
Okay, dude, get off my ass for a second. You do you, boo, and I'll do whatever I do. And I'm not opposed to flossing. God bless. And Anna, it is logical. It seems to, if you told me, is it better to have gunk stuck between your teeth or not to have it stuck between your teeth? I'm going to go with not stuck between my teeth.
Good.
Okay. So I'm not opposed to flossing, but the research seems to indicate that they don't have much of a leg to stand on. It's not that there's any research saying flossing will secretly kill you. Right?
Okay, no, but
it's just there's nothing to show that it's positive.
No. The Associated Press is actually, it could be counterproductive because if you floss, it releases the bacteria in between your teeth, and if you have a bad immune system, you could swallow that bacteria and get super sick.
But how's it better if it just sits in your mouth for
I don't know. I don't like this. I don't encourage people not to floss. Okay?
That's it. Drop it. I'm going to bring in Justice Jackson here. Flossing, yes or no? Go.
Well, obviously, yes. I wasn't as, vocal as Anna was, but I was thinking the same thing. I said, really, what is the negative side of flossing? What is it that could happen that's so bad? Now, the only thing that should be outlawed, I don't know, but straight outlawed, is the kind of floss that's like fishing wire. Because some of it's really thin. And then you're like, shit, let's just cut my mouth up because it's cheap-ass floss, and maybe I shouldn't buy the $1.50 floss. Maybe I should buy the $5 floss because I'm cheap. Maybe this is my fault.
Yeah, this took a turn. So,
but that's
look, I want to be clear. So we're all going to vote yes because we don't want to seem like douches. And we all generally agree, of course, you should theoretically. But we keep saying, of course, when the evidence shows maybe not, of course.
Okay,
but
by the way, floss has been around since the late 1800s. It's been around for a long time, and I'm guessing that there's been a lot of studies on it. They examined studies. Hold on. They examined studies over the last decade, right? So
why didn't you go back to 1898?
No.
Maybe you could have found a great study on flossing and leaching.
I'm just saying, oh, you know what? In the last decade, there haven't been very many credible studies on the issue of flossing. Yeah, maybe because we got that shit squared away already. Maybe because it's not a good idea to have nasty, deteriorating, decomposing shit in between your teeth.
Okay, so the real topic of this Supreme Court is flossing overhyped?
No.
And there I'm going, yes, it is overhyped. Because there are the floss-Nazis, right? That they're like, no, you must, you all have to floss, and you have to floss right in front of me. I'm like, okay, all right, dude, let me
You know
floss in
what?
peace.
You know what? They're the real MVPs. I fuck with them.
All right, JR's going to settle this. Hey, Chief Justice Jesus Godot not in today. So, JR, we got a tie here. Flossing overhyped or properly hyped? You're going to decide this case.
Okay, so I've had my stints when I was a kid that I didn't floss enough.
We've all been.
And I hated that. I hated doing it. I don't even like doing it now, but I force myself
Yep.
because I don't want to be a 50-year-old guy with no teeth. But because of that, I had tons of cavities, so it is not overhyped. I was the dumbass who didn't listen to the overhyped people, and I ended up with all these cavities as a kid, man. It's you guys know my dentist visits. I've had them, and then they're like, so why haven't you been flossing? I was like, I'm only 20 years old. I don't give a fuck. That's what's wrong.
So here's the situation. You should read the incredibly long AP piece, Associated Press piece, and we'll put a link for it. And it has the links to the research and the non-research and explains all the reasons why they think that it has not been properly proven out.
Yes.
Now, having said that, as Jared was making that anecdotal case, I was thinking, oh yeah, no true Scotsman ad hominem / me too.
Was there a strong man
I
in
did
there?
not floss when I was a kid and had mad cavities. So I lose, the AP loses 2-1. Flossing is not overhyped.